G'day everyone. On a dull, damp, drizzly, grey winter's day, I'm going to put a couple of yabby nets in and see if I can catch a few midwinter yabbies just for a small feed.
Hey you! You're watching Robbie Cooking.
I've got these two nets to use today. These are homemade bait traps. Before you say anything silly, no, they're not illegal as long as they are made to within the specifications that are outlined in the Victorian Fisheries Authority rules and regulations. They are perfectly legal. Anyway, let's put the bait traps in the water in the middle of winter, see if we can catch a feed of yabbies. Right, as light rain starts to fall, it's about 11 or 12 degrees. It's not the coldest winter day, but it's certainly not good yabbying weather. But a couple of years ago, right here in this spot, in the middle of winter, I caught a Cherax latimanus, which is otherwise known as a swamp yabby, a different sort of yabby to the common yabby. And I've got redfin bits and pieces in my net for bait in both nets. And net number 2, this is a slightly smaller net, but they're both in spec. Look at that, it's proper raining. It was drizzling, now it's pouring down. I've got the redfin head in this net. You can just go out of here. Right, the nets are in, it's late morning, it's 11 AM. I'll come back tonight and check these. If I don't get here tonight, I'll come and check them tomorrow. Right, I'm back. I didn't get a chance to come here last night and check my nets. My impatient nature really wanted to, but I couldn't, so it's the morning after. And guess what? If I can catch a few yabbies and I only need 4 or 5 for what I want, I'm going to make this into a yabby catch and cook video. But being in the middle of winter, I'm not expecting to. If I don't, well, you'll never see that bit of footage. I've even brought my bucket with me for bad luck. Righto. Net number 1. Yes, there are yabbies in there. How many did I get? 3. And they're good size. Awesome. Awesome. I'm excited. Lovely. Not the biggest yabbies ever, but certainly big enough to cook in anyone's book. Big enough to cook in anyone's book. That rhymes. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Very slow this time, even the little, when they flick their tail. That is too cool for school. Gee, another 3 like that'd be nice, but what's the bet this net's got nothing in it? Yes, is it 3 or 4? 3! And they're big! Oh, one of them's a bit small. This one's a bit small, but you ripper, half a dozen lovely midwinter yabbies. Look at the size of that one on the left. Awesome, so excited. That one needs a bit small, but he'll do. These are good ones, look at that. They're 2 different colours. One's really dark and got a bit of blue on him. This one's, on that side they look the same, but underneath. Anyway, that is really cool. I have now got half a dozen nice yabbies to go and film a catch and cook. I'm excited. I've got a really awesome lunch idea. Well, this is a pretty place. This is Green's Hill at the Winton Wetlands, and I'm going to be cooking my yabbies in this little rest area. I wasn't planning on coming this far over here to cook my lunch, but I've got a number of little tables. I like to cook on a table and chair if I can, and the ones that I normally use were all full of people. There was people out picnicking, so I found this one. I've only ever filmed here once or twice before. I don't film in this spot a lot because it's normally quite windy because we're on a hill here overlooking Green Swamp. But it's not windy today, it's quite calm. Anyway, I've got all my cooking stuff here. I've got my good camera here pointing down where I'm cooking. And there's the main ingredient, the yabbies. Right, it's time to cook these yabbies, and I'm going to be cooking them with noodles. I'm having yabby noodles for lunch. Spicy prawn flavoured noodles enhanced with yabbies. Shallite. This stuff is absolutely explosive. It's like pretty much the same as unleaded petrol. The Americans call it white gas. If you're watching from America, I'm going to be using my white gas burner. That's my Shallite MSR Whisper Light stove. This is the pump. The pump builds up air pressure in here. So put the pump in. Now pump it up to put pressure in the cylinder, in the fuel tank. Now plug the stove itself in. This guys gets a bit tricky as to which way it goes. I'll do this way back over here so that it doesn't burn my camera. Right, now I've moved this away from the camera a bit. I've put my bottle of water on just to keep it sitting flat, my pot of water. Now, I've moved it away from the camera because when you first light these stoves, they actually throw quite a bit of flame. Now you can see the flame there. As it dies down now, I'll give it a bit more fuel. Bring it back up a bit. Let that burn. What that's doing is heating the heater up, and it's heating the little pipe up that the fuel flows through. And once that gets hot, that evaporates the fuel and turns it into a gas. So at the moment it's a liquid until the pipes are hot enough to evaporate the liquid and turn it into gas. As they say, now we're cooking with hot gas. These shellite stoves, they're not as easy and convenient as gas stoves. Gas, you just turn it on and light it and away they go. These are a lot more fiddly, but gas can freeze. They're not as good in really cold climates. And if you're hiking or on some kind of adventure, you've always got to have a spare gas canister. With these, you know exactly how much fuel you're taking. You know how much gas is in your bottle because you put it in there. So gas is more convenient and easy to use, but these are much better for people going on adventures where weight is a concern and you don't want to be carrying unnecessary gas canisters around. Now while I'm waiting for that the water to boil, I'm going to put my noodles in this other pot. I've already filled this one with water. Some people like to boil the water, then pour it onto the noodles. Some people like to put the noodles in, then bring it to the boil, which is probably what I prefer. The reason I prefer to do it this way is because I can break the noodles down. I like my noodles crushed. Alright, looks like we're starting to boil. Oh, we're boiling. We've got a raging boil. Where's my yabbies? I like to put them in one at a time because I'm dropping them in alive. I want the water to be really hot so they die instantly. It's still boiling, but it's not boiling as much as I'd like. Now I'll bring it back up to a raging boil, which won't take long because it was still boiling anyway. Righto, number 2. These are actually quite nice size yabbies. They're not monsters, but they're quite nice size. Oh. I just went to throw the water out and I hooked it and threw water all over everything. Ha! Looking good. Right, now they've been going for about 3 minutes or so. That'll be enough. I'll take them off now and then I'll put my noodles straight on. I moved the camera around a bit because I think the steam might have been fogging up the lens. I've got to go and get them yabbies out of that hot water and pour some cold water on them to cool them down. I'll just keep cooking themselves. I'll shell these yabbies now. Scraps can go in the bucket. Basically all I'm going to do is rip the tails and claws off. Off with the tail. Well, those closed claws are a bit small on that one. This one's got nice big claws, so I'll pull your claws off. Pull the tail off. Tail, claws. Tail, a bit small. I don't know whether the camera will pick this up, but my yabbies are Right, now I finished boiling my noodles, probably a bit early because it boiled over and went out. The cooking came to a premature ending, but that's okay. Some people boil water, then pour the boiling water in with the noodles, and that's enough to cook them as it is. So they'll be fine. I didn't bring a strainer, so I'll just have to go and strain the noodles out with this fork and then get ready to eat my lunch. Awesome. There's my noodles. Now I'm going to add my yabbies. Give them a bit of a stir up. Oh no. I forgot to put the flavouring in. That's alright, I'll put that in now. It'll still be good. I was going to add the flavour to it while it was boiling. I totally forgot. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Yummy. Yeah, after flavouring went out. This looks delish. Mix it all up. Have a look at that. That's a meal fit for a king. Best lunch ever. Now I've moved to the other table for the eating part because it's a bit cleaner. I've made a bit of a mess over there. Have a look at that. That is a meal fit for a king. The claws, obviously I'm not going to eat them like that, so I'll pull them out now. I'll snack on the claws after I finish the main meal. That can be dessert. Here we go. Look at that, I've got some noodles and a yabby. Oh, that is incredible. It's actually a bit hot. I don't know what those spices are, but they're a bit warm. Ooh. These are so good. I can't believe it's starting to rain. The sun was nearly out when I checked those nets, probably not much longer than an hour ago. That was beautiful, and now it's time to eat the claw. Let's pull the fin out of the claw. This one's quite soft, so I can crush it with my teeth. Suck the meat out. There's just something special about yabby claw meat. That was beautiful. Pull the fin out. Sometimes a bit of meat comes out with it. You can get that off with your teeth. This is that soft I could probably just about crush it with my hands. I did, but it went everywhere. It didn't work. I still got the meat. Just in a few different pieces. The claw meat is the best. That's the best part of the yabby is in the claw, I reckon. I'd like to give a shout out to an American YouTuber, an American channel by the name of Ace Videos. Ace is a ripper fella, and Ace inspired me to film this video because he done one a couple of years ago. His channel's much bigger than mine, but he cooked crawfish, American crawfish and noodles on the bank of the river, and they looked amazing, and that's where the inspiration come from to make this video. So cheers Ace, big shout out, big thumbs up, check out Ace Videos. Folks, I was amazed at just how well yabby meat and noodles complement each other. That was just absolutely beautiful. It was the nicest lunch I've had for a long time. I would recommend trying some kind of noodles with a bit less spice though. Alright, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.